Anne Heche was born into a profoundly dysfunctional family. She was the youngest of 5 siblings, and her family relocated quite frequently during her childhood. They moved 11 times in the first 12 years of the actress' life. Her ostensibly religious father, Donald Heche, was a part-time church piano player. They spent a brief time living in an Amish community, but the people in charge of collecting their rent made it very difficult for them to remain there for any time. Anne seemed oblivious to the world around her. Her family never encouraged her to read anything besides the Bible. She was never taken to the movies and never watched any television shows. She said, "My understanding of pop culture was zero. I didn't have a trajectory in mind where I thought, oh, I wish I could be her, or wow, she's famous." But behind the veil of pious respectability, Donald reportedly had numerous homosexual affairs and sexually abused Anne until she was 12. Anne created a fantasy world to escape from her father's mistreatment. In this imaginary realm, she created Celestia, whom she said was one of her 2 personalities. When the actress was 13, Donald died of AIDS. It was the end of the abuse, but not the grinding poverty and the heartbreak. Just a few months after their father's death, Anne's brother Nathan died in a car accident, which the late actress believed that it was his way of ending his life. Her sister Cynthia had died in infancy, so her mother Nancy was left to raise her 3 surviving children, the late icon, Abigail, and Susan, as best she could. All 3 girls had jobs and contributed to the family budget. At the age of 16, Anne's talent was recognized by a scout who spotted her during a school play. She was offered a role in a daytime soap opera, but her mother insisted that she complete her high school education before pursuing a career in show business. However, after Anne graduated from high school, the same talent scout approached her again with an offer for a role in Another World. Despite her mother's objections, Anne, now an adult capable of making her own decisions, made the bold choice to follow her dreams and headed to Hollywood. Reflecting on her difficult childhood, she realized that her strong desire for her parents' love and approval motivated her to pursue a career in the entertainment industry. She hoped that by achieving success in Hollywood, she would earn the affection and respect of both her deeply religious mother, who idolized Jesus, and her father, who had always been a fan of movie stars. After gaining attention for her talent and unique appearance, Anne was given the opportunity to audition for the 1996 Miramax production, Beautiful Girls. She impressed the casting directors and was offered one of the lead roles alongside esteemed actresses Mira Sorvino, Natalie Portman, and Uma Thurman. However, Anne's experience with the film took a dark turn when she was asked to attend a meeting in Harvey Weinstein's hotel room. During the meeting, Weinstein exposed himself to her, prompting Anne to swiftly leave the room. Unfortunately, the consequences of this encounter were severe as she was fired from the film the next day. As the Weinstein scandal unfolded, with several actresses coming forward to share their experiences of sexual harassment and assault, Anne reflected on Hollywood during Weinstein's era, describing it as Harvey's little whorehouse. The revelation surrounding Weinstein's actions brought painful memories back to the surface for Anne and many others who had encountered his misconduct. Anne's account sheds light on the pervasive culture of abuse and exploitation in the industry, further exposing the dark side of Hollywood and the need for change and accountability. Anne's career grew by leaps and bounds, and she starred in a series of hit movies, including Donnie Brasco, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and Wag the Dog. Then she fell in love, and it all fell to pieces. She fell in love with comedian Ellen DeGeneres, and the two women became the first openly gay female couple in Hollywood. However, the consequence of their relationship resulted in the cancellation of Ellen's sitcom, and Anne's career dried up. Anne and the acclaimed TV show host were considered pioneers in the industry today, but back in the mid-1990s, being an openly gay woman was the kiss of death. The relationship with Ellen lasted for 3 years and ended when Anne left the comedian for Coleman LaFoon. Anne married Coleman, a cameraman she had met in 1999 during Ellen's stand-up comedy tour. Anne and Coleman welcomed a son, Homer, in 2002. The couple divorced in 2009 after Anne became romantically involved with her Men in Trees co-star James Tupper. James and Anne welcomed a son, Atlas, in 2009. They were together until 2018, and when they broke up, it led to a bitter fight over who would get custody of their son. They also fought over settlements for child support. The actress claimed that James earns more than she does due to the success of the series Big Little Lies and A Million Little Things, while her career is currently less successful. Anne had many high-profile relationships with other prominent figures over her career. In addition to Ellen, James, and Coleman, she was romantically involved with her Hung co-star Thomas Jane in 2019. Unfortunately, Anne and Thomas' relationship did not last long, and they split in 2020. Thomas felt devastated when he learned about Anne's car crash. He admitted that even though they were no longer together, he still loved the famous actress. He also described the brilliant actress as one of the true talents of her generation. Unfortunately, Anne passed away as a result of the tragic incident. A family representative stated that the actress' life support was taken off. The news devastated many of Anne's friends and loved ones. Anne's former romantic partners were equally devastated by her demise, and each paid their tributes. Ellen took to Instagram to express her sadness and sympathies to the family of her late ex-girlfriend. Like Ellen, Coleman shared his grief on social media, saying he loved and missed Anne. He said that his ex-wife's death crushed his son Homer's heart, and it was difficult for his son to accept that his mother was no longer with them. Meanwhile, Heche's ex-boyfriend and Men in Trees co-star James simply wrote "Love Your Forever" on Instagram, along with a picture of the late star.